It's time for Stephen Rick's podcast.
Hey, fuckers.
Hey, Rick.
What's happening?
What episode is this?
41.
Jesus Christ. I thought we'd do 10 of these and it'd be done.
Shit. We're just getting started, man.
When we first started doing this, it was all about just making each other laugh and tell dumb stories. And I know the fans loved the stories that I told because they were all true and they were funny. And now we're not doing that as much because we're getting guests in, and it's kind of changing the format of the podcast.
Well,
in my opinion.
Yeah, it's definitely changed a little bit, but we're not going to be having guests nonstop. You know, we're because we're new, we got bombarded with people that wanted to come on. It's not stopping by any means, but we're going to have...
I like talking to people. Like Matt Starr last week was great, and great to see him again. But yeah.
We'll have weeks off.
Yeah, I want to be able to just sit here and fuck off once in a while. I like fucking off.
Yes.
I'm a fucker.
We have a guest today, next week, and then I don't have anything booked, so I'm going to purposely keep December 10th open.
I was also going to tell you, Christmas week, we're taking a break. All right? I'm telling you now, giving you plenty of headway. It's Christmas week, because I'm going to go see my brother, and it's a week with family. It's not a week to have to worry about doing this shit.
Our listeners are our family.
I know.
They're going to miss us.
I can't see them.
We'll do a best of that week. How about that?
That's fine. That'd be good. Yeah, like a Seinfeld episode.
Yeah. Highlights of every episode.
There you go.
All right, so we're going to be taking a week off. Oh. But...
it's 1 week.
I know, but...
Well, I would have skipped this week, but you wouldn't let me.
Oh, you're killing me.
No, I'm not. If I was killing you, I'd stab you.
So the holidays coming up, what are you going to be doing for Thanksgiving?
We always have because Kicks always played on Black Friday, always, or Thursday before Black Friday. So we used to always celebrate our Thanksgivings on Saturday, so I could enjoy myself because I like to drink wine and I like to pig out. And I don't want to go up on stage with a big old pot belly and a hangover. So we always had our Thanksgivings on Saturday. And this year, our son, who works for the government in D.C., can't make it on Thursday, so we're going to do it on Saturday. We're all used to that anyway.
Okay.
So Thursday is just going to be football and pizza.
There you go. I think we were here last Thanksgiving. You invited us over.
Yeah?
Was it?
The real Thanksgiving or the because we always do family.
Remember.
We always do a bunch of family. We got like 10 or 15 people coming here on Saturday.
I thought I
don't know any
being
of
there,
them.
But
No, I'm kidding.
yeah, we got a new sponsor, a very cool new sponsor.
Yeah, I heard you talking about it.
Jim Joy and the Log Cabin.
Yeah, long relationship with Jimmy.
Up in Hancock. Great bar.
It's a shame it's so out of the way, and if it was in Hagerstown, I'd frequent it.
Yeah,
a lot.
But they started doing crabs about 5 years ago, and I know you don't like seafood.
I got crab once.
Did you write a song about it?
No.
The Etch?
There you go.
But we love seafood and crabs, and hard-shell crabs, being a Marylander, you got to be good if you're going to sell them
I
to the
wish I
public
liked
in Maryland.
them. I know. I've seen people with the hammers and the bib. It looked like a great time.
Well, Jim Joy got the best crabs, the best boats, the best crab cooker steamers.
Where does he get all that stuff?
He's
got an inside link.
Yeah, there's trucks that'll go down to the bay, and I think, don't quote me on this, I think he has 12 suppliers that he uses.
Wow.
So he always has the best of the best. I've had crabs all over the state, and I'm telling you, Jim Joy's, I'm not saying this because he's our sponsor, the absolute best crabs.
I've heard that from many people. Everybody
I've turned on to Jim Joy's crabs, top of the line, the best. And
it's just his place is a little out of the way, so it's got to make it. It's got to be really good. From what I hear, it's worth the trip.
Well, it's right off the highway, so from here it takes me 20 minutes,
right?
And I'm there, and that's worth it for and not just crabs. They have everything: steak, dinners, lunches.
No, it's a fully functional restaurant. We used to play there back when he had bands.
Yeah.
And it's a little tiny place. It might have held 100 people.
Right.
And first time we played there, I go, you guys sold it out. It's like, big deal. This is funny money. And the floor would be packed and people standing on tables and everything.
Yep.
And after about 7 or 8 times playing there, nobody came anymore.
Really?
Yeah. It's like, okay, we saw him at this small little venue. We'd rather see him at a larger venue where he can actually put on a show.
Right.
Because the stage was about as big as this countertop. It wasn't very big. But Jim always treated us great. Loved playing there because it was, it's a close gig. And it was just fun.
Him and his wife, Crystal, I mean, they make the bar because of their personalities and how much fun they both are. They are just a good time. And I'm not sure if Jim drinks anymore, but when you would get him drinking
Oh,
up
yeah,
there,
I've seen that.
oh, it was just so much fun. And that was a big part of the allure to me was Jimmy makes it a party no matter
He was
what's
a party.
going
He
on
was a
there.
party animal.
So they're celebrating their 21st anniversary of Jim and Crystal owning the place.
Congrats.
And yeah, if you get a chance, go to Jim Joy's Log Cabin in Hancock. It's right off of 70. You won't regret it.
If you like seafood or just good food in general and just in a nice, intimate setting, which it is.
Yeah.
And it's great.
And it's an actual log cabin. That's not just the name of the place. You know that used to set across the street? And back in the 30s, they picked it up and carried it across the street.
Literally?
Literally. There's pictures.
Picked it up?
Well, they picked it up and put it on a couple contraptions with wheels. And
I'd like to see 100 men pick up a building.
The Amish do that.
They do.
That's a rabbit hole I went down on YouTube. It's amazing. But so yeah, Jim Joy's and then Hunter's. Hunter at Simple Pleasures. I just left there and talked to Hunter.
How they coming?
They're at the finish line.
Yeah.
They're waiting on an occupancy, so it could be as early as Wednesday this week.
I'm going to visit them as soon as they open up. I'm there.
He showed me videos today. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing spot. It's so much larger, and the way they have it laid out, they actually have games in there now. You can win money, like poker machines, slot machines, but it's called Games of Skill. You can win money.
Another attraction. Lure people in. Buy some stuff.
That's it. Hunter wants to come on next week for a couple minutes just to give everybody an update. By then, he'll have an open date if he's not already open.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, he can bring me some stuff.
Yeah. I'll put a bug in his ear.
All right, bug him hard. No, he's very cool.
Yes,
all I gotta
he
do
is.
is text him, and he shows up and drops it in my mailbox.
He's awesome, man. In my opinion, it's the best thing that ever happened to Simple Pleasures was getting Hunter. He's just got that.
He's a go-getter motherfucker.
He's got that mind that he knows what the hell he's doing, and his ideas are wonderful.
Yeah,
So, you want to talk about anything else? You want to bring up our guest?
I went to a wedding,
Oh.
which I never go to weddings. I hate weddings.
We've talked.
We all hate weddings, especially when you don't even like the people you're seeing getting married. But no, that's not the case here.
All right.
My great nephew, my brother's daughter, son.
Okay.
So that makes him my great nephew. And he was a big rock and roll fan, and he was always coming out to kick shows and funny money shows, and he even wore the big Steve Whiteman "You're Welcome" white hoodie to a show.
Oh, okay.
That's brave. I wouldn't even wear that.
I remember him coming in and buying that.
Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember.
So anyway, congratulations to CJ and red on my head. I think it's Ricky. I forget her name. Isn't that terrible? But man, did we have a good time. I'm terrible. Whenever I get in front of this fucking camera, my brain just goes.
You'll remember it the second we stop filming.
I'll call and apologize to her.
Was the wedding local?
It was in Warrenton, Virginia.
Oh.
So it was a hall, and we were using Waze to get to this place, and Waze took us to this gate that went to nothing, and it's like, okay, now what? So we just kept going, and then Carly, my daughter, our daughter in the back, goes, what's the address? So she put it in her phone on Google Maps, and she found it, but Waze couldn't find it. It was it was the middle of nothing, so it was hard. But anyway, congratulations, CJ, and
Mrs. Whiteman.
Mrs. No, it's the hell is his name?
Shit.
He's CJ. My family's going to hate me for this. I don't remember anybody. This is typical of anybody in my life. I don't remember anybody's fucking name. If I don't see him every week, gone.
I hear you.
It's called Alzheimer's and alcohol damage.
That's a good spot to go to our guest then.
All right.
All right, we'll be right back.
Perfect. He may have retired, but he's still rock and roll, baby.
I don't know about that, but hey, great to see you.
You too. And look at Rick with the beard.
Yeah,
Bearded
winner. I was gonna say, I thought you were talking about me. It's like, no. Hey, before we get started, I have to make an apology to some family members that I attended a wedding this past weekend, and I couldn't remember the bride's name. It's Jackie. I knew that, but because I had a camera on me, I forgot. And CJ Myers, I just went, these are my great nephew, and they just got married and had a beautiful wedding, and we were a part of it and had a great time. And anyway, because I think they watched this, and I want to let them know that I had a great time and appreciate them. Sorry I fucked up your name.
Do a quick introduction. This is Don Jameson, former co-host of That Metal Show, rock and roll comedian, opened for Metallica.
What?
Yeah. And
What?
I had the privilege of managing Don for, a year and a half, something like that.
Oh, yeah. Rick made tens of dollars on me.
Me too.
Gads. Welcome, man. Thank you so much for coming on.
I'm a huge fan of the podcast. I love that you guys are doing this. I love the way it just seemed like it just rolled out organically. Like
It did.
it's just you two guys sitting at a table bullshitting, and it's as real as it gets, man. So thanks for having me.
Ah, great having you. It's great seeing you. How's life? How's the career going?
Well, if you look on all my social media, it looks like I'm killing it out there, but that's all an illusion. So let's cut the shit and everything sucks. No, I'm a positive guy. You guys both know me for a while.
Yeah.
I always see, I always see the good stuff, of course there's bad stuff, but social media, you guys know, it really is that. I mean, it's the way you want to present yourself to the world. But, I keep everything positive because I got no time for negativity in my life, especially with people that I don't even know. I'm 59 years old. Am I going to sit at home on a Friday night and argue with some guy with 3 followers in Portugal?
Fuck no. I don't even do social media anymore. I've given it all up. I don't give a shit because I'm not promoting anything. You still have to do it because you have to promote your shit. But I got nothing to promote, and I'm totally out.
I respect that so much, man, because, I'm always the one to call, people out. Oh, they said they were going to tire, and I know that they're coming back. And I've said this in other interviews. I go, the one guy who, that I talked to and sat with who said he's retiring that I 100% believe is retired is Steve Whiteman.
Yep, 100%.
When we were at your house that time sitting around the pool,
Mm-hmm.
and you were just so earnest about it. And I said, this guy means it, man. He has a nice life here, nice house, his wife. He likes to sit by the pool and chill. And God bless, I respect that more than anything, man.
Thank you. I remember the night. We had a little fire at the fire pit and just sat and bullshit for a couple hours. And yeah, that was a nice evening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's hard. I mean, Steve, for you now, I'm doing the interview, but
No, go.
I'm asking this just as a friend. Like, obviously, there must be some aspects of it that you miss, but obviously not enough that's driving you back towards it.
There's really nothing that I miss. The only thing that I miss is live performance, being on stage in front of that crowd and me just in control of maybe, several thousand people. That was that felt amazing. But what it took to get to that point is what I don't miss whatsoever. And I knew physically I was deteriorating, and I knew vocally I was deteriorating. And I wanted to go out with people saying, that fucking guy gave it everything he got every time he hit the stage. And I don't think I'm capable of doing that anymore. So that's why I thought, it's time to go. I want people to remember me for what I was, not for what I could turn into.
Yeah, and you did it, you did it in, your home state, right?
Yep.
And in front of, all your fans who showed up. I mean, it was, it was sort of like Kix's Back to the Beginning, except you survived afterwards, and Ozzy didn't, unfortunately. But it's still, what a cool way to go out, like just in front of your peers, your friends, your family, and your fans. So yeah, I can imagine how gratifying that was.
It was great, and the fact that we did it at M3 because we had been headlining that for like several years before that, so we knew it was a great venue, and we knew we had a good relationship with the people who run it, and they gave us such access to all the pyro and everything that they had available for us. That show was incredible. We never could have afforded that, but we had 12, 13,000 people show up for that show, which blew us away. Had no clue that many people would show up in the rain, which is typical. The Kix Cloud shows up all the time. But it was an amazing night and something that I'll cherish for the rest of my life.
Good, and so will the fans. Their memory of that is gonna stay with them forever too. So, good, man. I'm glad you're enjoying retirement.
Loving it.
Do you remember the first time you saw Kix live?
It was funny because I was thinking about it. You guys didn't necessarily always get up Jersey way a ton of times.
In the early days, we did.
Yeah.
Early days, we did a lot of L'Amours, a lot of Long Island, a lot of that stuff, but.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Because I think the first time you came on the radar for me was Midnight Dynamite, and you played L'Amours, I think, on that tour. So that's the first time I saw you. And then the next time I saw you was not, I don't think, until the Monsters of Rock cruise.
Oh, okay. That's quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, there might have been one or two in the middle there. I'm just, trying to cycle through my brain of all the shows I've seen, but I know there was a pretty big gap in there. But 85, man, what a time.
Yeah, that was a good time. Good fun.
Especially L'Amours, I was going to Rutgers at the time. I was, in college. And so it was sort of just right over the Verrazano Bridge there. I mean, I could be from my dorm room to L'Amours in, 30 minutes, give or take, depending on traffic. But if you remember L'Amours, I mean, the headliner didn't go on till 1 or 2 in the morning.
Oh, I remember that well.
Yeah. Now if a club tells me there's 2 shows, like 7:30 and 9:30, I'm like, 9:30 show? That means we're not done till 11? What the? But back then, I wouldn't leave Jersey till midnight, so there would never be any traffic.
Right.
And you'd rock out, get to L'Amours about 1, pound a whole bunch of beers. And there was, obviously you guys always brought great energy wherever you played, but that room in general always had great energy.
Yeah, there was a lot of great bands that played there. One of my best memories of playing L'Amours was Cinderella opening for us. And
wow.
It was a big gig for them because they hadn't really played in front of a big crowd yet. The record hadn't come out yet, and we were doing our sound check, and we're dressed like normal, beer shirts and jeans, and these guys walk in. They look like Aerosmith. I mean, they are decked to the nines, and we like, who the fuck are these guys? And we just kind of blew them off as being posers, And then they started playing. Luckily, there's always like 5 bands that open for you at L'Amours. So we would go back to the hotel, then come back to L'Amours maybe for the band opening before us, and it was Cinderella, and we were blown away. They were fucking amazing, and I was out there rocking. I mean, I'm like, this band is so damn good. I got to let them know that I appreciate them, and they were fans, but the bad part was they went over. They were getting over so well. I mean, the crowd was loving them, and so was I. And they went past their curfew, so there was like this video screen that was over top of them. And after they told them 3 times, your time's up, and they wouldn't leave the stage because they were killing it. and this video screen came down and hit Tom in the head.
Oh, geez.
And then it just went all the way down, and there they were. That was awful. Tom thought it was us for the longest time, and I finally had to sit him down and go, "Hey, that was Lamore's," and it was late. We were supposed to go on at 1:30. It was like 1:45, and he was cool about it. But that was one of the most memorable nights of Lamore's.
Yeah, and then Tom, we thought Tom wasn't going to be able to sing for a long time there, and it's amazing that I went to see his band 3 or 4 months ago, and I don't know how he did it, man. He found the miracle cure, man. Because he sounded terrific as usual, and it's Steve, man. It's crazy how sometimes it's just the luck of the draw with a singer, right? I mean, you could take care of your voice, you could do every vocal exercise, you could, to be a goddamn gluten-free vegan, raw foodie, and eat honey 23 hours a day. And at some point you could lose it. And it's crazy. Like we saw Bon Jovi, has gone through that, and now it looks like he's coming out on the other end. So, a guitar breaks, you didn't just go buy another one. Exactly. Your voice breaks, you don't know.
Yeah. I felt my voice coming down. I went to an ENT probably I was probably 45, 46 years old, and I felt my range was starting to drop a little bit. So I went to an ENT. They told me that my vocal cords were no longer stuck together. There was a slight hole in them, and that's when your voice goes. And they offered a surgery that had a 50% chance of success. And I'm like, well, if it doesn't work, then I'm done, right? Pretty much. So I worked with it. I went with it. We start tuning down more, and anything they could do to keep me on the stage, they did. But I knew it was time.
Well, you could have fooled me. I mean, for me, like it was always there all the way to the end. So, like you said, like whatever it took to get there, you got there. So that's awesome.
Yeah, but I always felt embarrassed when I come off stage. I never felt good about a show, and that started to tear at me. That I could never come off stage and go, "Ooh, that was fucking great." I could look at the other guys and go, "You guys were great," but I never felt like I was great anymore. So that's what started to tear at me.
We're our own worst critics as performers. I mean, I come off. There's a lot of times I come off stage happy, but I'm just never satisfied. I can always pick my set apart and go, I forgot this. I messed up this punchline. I reversed this the wrong way. And sometimes, Steve, it's not even the response from the crowd. It's me. Like I knew I was off.
Sure.
Like I got lucky with this crowd. They saved me. And people will be like, "Oh my God, that was great," and I'll be, I'm just gonna go home. I'm in a bad mood.
We're our worst critics, and that's good because that keeps you humble, that keeps you hungry, that makes you work harder at your craft.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
So I know you wrote for Lisa Lampanelli. Didn't you always also write for Andrew Dice Clay, or did you tour with him? What was your connection with him?
Yeah, I mean, I toured with Dice for like 10 years, which really was, comedy college,
Ooh.
Yeah, really, you learn real quick, and even though, when I toured with Dice, it wasn't, in his heyday where he was playing arenas and things like that. They're still the Dice crowds, they're just a little smaller, and we do, 1,000 to 2,000 people usually. And, he would always crack up because, we play, I'm used to comedy club stages, and now also, I go out, obviously I open for bands. So sometimes I play bigger stages, but we were always playing theater stages. And when they announced me, I would run to the microphone, and he would always laugh. He'd be like, "Why do you run to the mic?" I go, "Because if I don't get the first joke out before someone yells out, "You fucking suck," I'm dead. You know, if I can get there and get that first laugh, they might give me a chance. So
That's good. That's fun.
he always be like, "Take your time." I go, "No, you don't have to open for you. I do." You know, you take 10 minutes out there, you take a sip of water, you light a cigarette, you move the stool 3 inches for no reason.
He can
before
stand
you
there
say
for
anything.
10 minutes and the crowd will still go crazy. But
Yeah,
I have a nice story for you. We went, I think we were in Wisconsin, and that we were playing a college the next day. Or we were playing that night, and Dice was playing there the next day. And it was a pretty good sized venue, like 12,000 people. And when we went on, they had it all draped off, you know, to like a smaller crowd. We were opening for somebody. I don't remember who it was, but it wasn't big as big as Dice. So the next day we got to go to the show, and it was wide open and it was sold out. I mean, that was Dice in his heyday.
Yeah, but Dice is still out there kicking ass, and I still, stay in touch with him. He's one of my closest friends in comedy. But he, I always say I don't want to ruin his street cred, but he was been so kind to me over the years, and
Right.
like behind the scenes with the things you don't see, that are going on. Like you see the character on stage, you see the barbarian on stage, but me and Jim Florentine both, he's like, I want to get you guys going. I want to get your careers where it needs to be. And, and then when we started doing that metal show, he was like, all right, you guys are good for a while now. He goes, because I'm going to help out. We're still going to do shows, but I'm going to help out some other people too. And we're like, no, Dice,
Nice.
we can't, there's not enough ways to thank you for all you did for us.
Nice.
Remember seeing you on the Howard Stern show for the roast of, I think it was Ralph, right? You roasted Ralph, and connected to that, I can't remember what it was, but Dice would always refer to you as the boy Jameson, right?
The little boy Jameson.
Yeah. So did you also ever work with Artie Lang? I'm curious as hell as to what he's up to now, because he's disappeared.
Yeah, well, he's alive, so that's the good news. But because I haven't been in touch with Artie probably in at least 5 years. But I'm kind of glad, because I think that means he's taking care of himself, and I think he got caught in a trap of, he'd go to rehab with the best intentions, and then he'd get out on a Friday, and then Saturday night, you'd look on his social media, and he's, at the Comedy Cellar in the city. And it's like, to jump back into those old haunts for someone, who's an addict, and, you guys have had personal experience with that. It's not a healthy way to do things. So I think he finally realized, like, I gotta take care of me. And if and when I'm ready, I'll go do it again. But if I'm not, then I won't. So that's the best thing I could say. But the times I did work with Artie, again, another guy, just a heart of gold. We did a show, me, Artie, and Dice at the Borgata in Atlantic City, and that was a really fun show. That was a wild night, and that ended up spilling onto the Stern show because Dice didn't pay Artie that night.
Yeah.
And they had that big fight over the phone, and that went on for a while, And now I had worked for Dice, so I knew Dice. We would play the weekend together, and then when he got back to LA, on Sunday night or Monday morning, he'd tell his accountant, "Oh, send him a check, cut him a check," because there was no PayPal or any of that back then, and I would get a check a few days later. But Artie figured I'm getting paid, that night, and he was getting paid way more than me, like $5,000. So Dice had to, do it through his accountant, but it made for great radio, just those two battling.
It did. That was legendary. I was Team Artie at first, and then when Dice explained himself, I was Team Dice. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was sincere about it. But I hope Artie's doing really well, man. He always had a heart of gold, that guy, and anyone will tell you that ever knew him. I had a rough breakup with a girlfriend. This is probably 25 years ago, and he just called me out of the blue. He's like, "Hey, man, you want to get together in the city and hang out and just go get some drinks and stuff. And it's like, why would Artie, like, he had never, unless it was around the gig, he would never call me. And then, like, after we had a few beers, I realized what he had done. Like, he wanted to get me out of the house because he knew I was bumming. So that, you know, that's the kind of guy he was.
That's a friend. That's nice.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Now, I apologize for not keeping up, but are you still doing shows with Jim?
Yeah, Florentine and I work together all the time. I don't know when this airs, but we do a thing every Thanksgiving Eve now. This is 11 years in a row at this this brewery in just outside of Philly called the Broken Goblet, and it's you know, we do a big comedy show there every year, and it's, you know, it's become a tradition, which is great. So at the time we're recording this, it'll be Wednesday night, Thanksgiving Eve, and we'll be back for our 11th year there. And yeah, he and I, you know, it's, you know, if you're able to work with your friends, and again, Steve, you know this well, like you want to be on tour with people that you like.
Absolutely.
And if you're able to do, and I get along with just about anybody, unless, you know, they're a complete tool, but, you know, it's nice if you can set it up to work with your friends, you know, and there's no egos involved with Jim and I, and you know what I mean? Nobody, we're both super low maintenance. So it's like, yeah, let's just go do these shows together. We'll split the money 50-50. Who cares? It doesn't matter if one did a little more time than the other. Like, let's just go have fun.
That's great. That's a great attitude. I remember seeing you guys, you and Jim and Eddie, on the Monsters of Rock cruise, and you guys did a little comedy show. And I was so impressed with all you guys, but the fact that Eddie could hold court for about 15 minutes and make people laugh was that. I'm like, who's this guy? And of course, you guys were great. And that was one of the best comedy shows I've seen in a long, long time. But you guys were amazing. And I was impressed with Eddie that he could do that.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, you know, Eddie, if people, you know, knew Eddie from that Metal Show, you know, he was more the straight man, which is a comedic role, by the way. You know, and when Eddie needed to take a shot, he was good. You know, Eddie is quick, but I think that's a side of Eddie that people didn't really know. And he has these great rock and roll stories, obviously from, you know, all the years in the business. And Jim and I just help him fine tune him a little bit and get him, you know, ready for the stage. Yeah. And he's a radio DJ, so he loves to talk. So
he does.
You know, he got his 15 minutes of stories down pretty good for the stage. And we toured with that for probably about 4 or 5 years while we were still doing the TV show.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we went to Mexico even. The promoter brought us down. We did Mexico City, a casino there, and then we played this little town called Puebla, like 2 hours away. And you know, I speak a little Espanol, so I would come up, you know, Eddie would go up first and I would come up second, and I was saying stuff about him in Spanish that he couldn't understand, and the audience was rolling. You know, I was just telling the audience in Spanish he has a small penis and all this stuff. And the second night he ran out on stage, he goes, "I don't know what the fuck you're saying, but I know you're fucking with me," and he chased me around the stage.
That's good.
And the crowd loved it, man. It was really fun.
That's funny. That's great.
And we're still the three of us best friends. I mean, we were just right before I came on with you. You know, we have a text thread, you know, that's been going now for 15 years. You know, so we still all, you know, we still hang together when we can. And I know Eddie's coming back to Jersey tomorrow, so we might try to drag him out because Queensryche's in town playing. Oh. So we might want to try to drag Ed out and go check those guys out.
He travels a lot. I bet there are times when he just wants to go, I just want to sit home. I don't want to do anything.
It's amazing because when we were out doing that Metal Show live on stage, you know, the show that you pretty much saw on the Monsters of Rock cruise, he hadn't traveled that much. He was, you know, once in a while he'd fly out and host a festival somewhere, but he wasn't used to traveling like me and Florentine were. Mm. And I remember he used to show up at the airport. He'd have like 2 giant suitcases, a backpack, you know. And I go, what do you bring everything in your home with you? They're like, we're playing in Detroit and Chicago. You don't need that much stuff, you know. And then over the years, he started to travel more than both of us combined. And now because he used to laugh at me because I would just bring a backpack, and now he's got that style down now where he like packs the minimum, and he knows how to do it now.
So when I saw your show down in Key West, you were doing the thing where you would take a musician, a rocker, and you'd prep them, and they did a opening up for you. I can't remember the guy's name. He was a bass player.
Greg Smith.
Yes, that's who it was. And I always thought, man, if you ever got Steve to do that, that would just be.
Do what?
Steve was asked. Steve has been asked multiple times
For the comedy thing?
Yeah. You know what? People always go, you should be a comedian. I go, no. There's a difference between doing a 30-minute skit or a what do you call them? A bit.
Set.
And in between songs, as opposed to doing 30 minutes to an hour standing up there. Then I can do a minute in between songs, but there's no way in hell that I would put that much effort and time into doing stand up. But everybody else, oh, you're a funny motherfucker. You should just stand up. No, you don't get it. It's not that easy.
No, and that's true. And I, the fact that that would actually make you a good candidate to give it a try, because Courtney Cronin, who's my partner in this concept, and it's something we call punchlines and backlines. And it started on the cruise, because we always wanted to put the musician in as fan-friendly a space as possible. So in other words, these people are all fans of yours, for the most part.
Right.
And they're going to be rooting for you. And Courtney and I, we pretty much get on FaceTime with the artists and we let them just tell stories. Like it's really all their words. Again, same thing like what Jim and I did with Eddie. We just edit it down. There's a difference between telling a story backstage that takes you 15 minutes to tell, but on stage you got to tell it in 2.5 minutes or 2 minutes, and you got to have laughs throughout. So that's what we do with these people. And then we got kind of cocky and said, yeah, let's put some people in some comedy clubs too and see how they do there. And Greg Smith, who played with Ted Nugent and Alice Cooper and Billy Joel and a million people. He was really into the idea of doing it, and he was down playing the music festival in Key West, and we had him come over and do the comedy club. And Courtney's got a great way of setting it up for the audience, so he can just launch right into his material, and he did well, right? You were there, Rick.
Yeah, he did real well.
I'm at the Monsters of Rock cruise. I remember they invited me to do it, and I declined. I said, no, I'm not a comedian. But Reb Beach, did you see Reb at all? He got up.
Well, we wrote, with Reb his set.
He fucking killed. He killed, and it was good. It was about 15 minutes of solid material, and it was all true shit that he had experienced.
Hey, we've been taking him on the road.
Is that right?
Yeah, we did gigs 4 or 5 months ago in Pittsburgh, where he lives.
Yeah.
And we did two. So he did it twice on the cruise, and then we did 2 club shows with him, and he did great. So we asked him if he wanted to come to Nashville and do it, because I got an in at JBJ's, John Bon Jovi's new club down there, and they were wanting to do some kind of comedy thing in there, and obviously tied in with the music. They were excited, and we asked Reb to do it with us down there, and he killed again, man.
Yeah,
and
cool.
Yeah, he's loving it because Winger is retired.
Yeah, are they done?
They're done like touring formally. They might play the cruise and they might play a festival here or there, but they're done as a touring entity pretty much.
I remember when Kip heard that we were retiring and that I was retiring, he texted me and just congratulated me and just gave me praises about how much he respected blah blah blah, and he said, "I'm with you, brother. I feel it winding down." He said, I want to get back into my classical music and I want to devote my time to that. So this is like 2 years ago. So I sort of smelled it coming, but I didn't know that they had reached that point yet.
Yep. I think they finished up in September. the Rainbow Bar and Grill in LA always has a big, and Labor Day weekend in the parking lot. I think they headlined.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, and that was their last show.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, he reiterated that. We saw, Kip also did stand up. We got Kip to do stand up on the Monsters of Rock cruise too. Yeah,
motherfucker. He's talented.
Yeah, because I knew Reb was funny and could do it, because Reb can do voices and impressions and stuff. But I was like, I want that dry, dark, grumpy sense of humor
That's
got.
Kip.
Totally, and he did great as well. And then he came out to JBJ's because obviously he wanted to see Reb do it, and but yeah, he's another guy. Steve, he's not saying I'll never do another Winger show, but I believe him when he says I'm done and I want it. He loves doing that classical stuff, and he's real intense into that.
He's great at it too, and he writes it all down. He charts it all out, and that's a passion for him. And I can see where when you feel your abilities declining and you have another avenue to go down, but stay in music and your passion and your love, it's like total respect. Go for it.
Absolutely.
Don, I wish we could talk to you for 4 more hours, man, just to catch up. I haven't seen you in a while, but our guy's giving us the whirly bird. So.
No, I got you. We'll do a part 2 sometime, or hopefully I'll get that back down to Hagerstown soon.
There you go.
What do you got coming up that you want to promote? Anything happening?
For fans of that metal show, this is another tradition that we've been doing. We always do our Christmas party at Dingbats in Clifton, New Jersey, which is a great rock club. And we'll be doing on December 18th. Jim and Eddie and I will be there and just hanging out, introducing, bands and just, hanging with people and partying and celebrating the season.
Yeah,
as they say.
That's nice. That's nice. Hey, give my best to Jim and Eddie. And thank you so much for doing this. I never know who's going to come on. So it was a nice surprise, a pleasant surprise. So all the best to you. Happy holidays and peace and love.
Likewise, guys. I hope to see you both soon.
All right.
Okay.
We'll see you, Don.
All right.